Well, we've got our colleague from NAI NP Dodge with us today, John Meyer. Good morning, John. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure to be here.
Good to have you back. And John, like a lot of our brokers at NAI NP Dodge, does all sorts of types of real estate deals, any you could imagine, but he focuses the most on industrial. That's his favorite area of commercial real estate. And why is that?
Because I am not a patient man, and those industrial deals and the guys that I usually deal with are very direct and kind of no nonsense and straight to the point. So that's really why I enjoy doing that, because I'm not a patient man.
And if you have to focus on one, I call them food groups, whether it be retail, office, industrial, apartments, investment sales, that kind of things, really industrial is probably the fastest right now as far as it's most in demand. So people have to make decisions. If they find an available vacancy, and John and I work a lot together in the industrial sector, people need to commit, and they need to be decisive.
Yeah, they do, and they need a good, knowledgeable broker who knows about what's coming online before it's coming, and because if you're a tenant out there looking for representation, you really need a good broker that's in the know and can get your foot in the door before some of these deals even get brought to market.
John, well, go ahead, Trenton.
Well, he and I have a couple subleases as well, 20 to 40,000 feet right now, where industrial is in such demand, and a lot of these third-party logistics firms and stuff that handle other people's freight, transporting and storing. What happens is sometimes they grow out of space, so they need a bigger space. So we're kind of moving people around, which presents opportunities. And what else do we have, John? We have a couple of those, right?
Yeah, I'd put a shout out to my good friend Jim Kunkel with Try Hard Logistics. I found him via a cold call about 3 or 4 years ago, and I fostered a great relationship with him. But we've grown him from 10,000 square feet to over 300,000 square feet in a 3-year period. So,
John, what's the current industrial real estate vacancy rate here in the metro area now?
Right now, it varies depending on size groups, right? So under 100,000 square feet right now, we're at like 2.2 or 2.5, I think, percent. We're actually, Omaha has the second lowest vacancy rate among all major U.S. markets. The only market ahead of that would be Grand Rapids, Michigan.
That's crazy, because if you say something is less than 3% vacant in the real estate world, you might as well be saying it's 0% vacant, because it becomes very challenging to find space, if only 2.5% of it is available.
Yeah, when I first got into the brokerage side of this industry about 6 years ago or so, the vacancy rate was closer to 5.4%, which is our where we traditionally stand. But post 2020 and the COVID and the pandemic and everything has really driven that vacancy rate.
And in those 6 years, we've seen it probably go up, I would say, 40% as far as rental rates?
Yeah, rental rates have gone sky high. It is definitely a landlord-favored market. It's a great time to own industrial real estate.
Well, in existing real estate, it has become more valuable because it's so expensive to build.
Land costs are expensive. Really, the scarcity of land that is zoned for industrial real estate and has the proper infrastructure, so sewer and proper roads and highways and the actual infrastructure that you need to be able to do an industrial development is just really not out there right now, which is really kind of a shame.
Yeah, guys, it's interesting, though, because when you have really low vacancy rates, and we've been low for a couple of years now, the thought is, they'll just build a whole bunch and pretty soon you'll have too much. Well, we still have these really low vacancy rates in the industrial real estate sector, and we've been building industrial space for the last couple of years like crazy, millions of square feet.
Well, we have such great demand for it, and the interesting thing is it's like we're not like a Phoenix market where they places like Phoenix have overbuilt like millions of square feet of industrial speculative buildings, and we do not have that here. So
But we're seeing some regional and national players like Opus, and then some strong local developers like White Lotus, New Street, R&R, and these it takes the vision and the bank accounts of some of these people to build 100, 200,000 square foot speculative buildings, meaning without a tenant, and the demand is strong enough that they can build these logistics parks, and high cube warehouses and stuff like that. So there's still demand, but also, John, when you're dealing when we're dealing with 5,000 to 20,000 square feet, those are really, really hard to come by as well.
Those are even harder, I would argue.
John, you are going to share with us the top 5 industrial leases of the last quarter.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So this data comes from CoStar Group.
Is this number 5 or number 1?
This is I will go in order 1 through 5.
Number 1.
Number 1, top lease, 2421 River Road, Council Bluffs, Iowa. That would be the Opus Development Group project that they did down there.
So so people know where that is, are those the 2 brand new warehouses right by the I-29, I-80 interchange?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Gray with blue stripe.
Yep. And so with that, there was 157,000 square feet approximately leased. That was Camps, which is a pallet manufacturing company. They were represented by our good friend Brian Hartman,
Our
in
associate.
office. Number 2 was 7130 Q Street in Omaha. That was a 89,000 square foot renewal with FedEx. So FedEx was put into that building or renewed their lease there. The other one would be 2421 River Road, Council Bluffs, Iowa, again at the Opus development that we were just mentioning.
The other of the 2 warehouses.
Yeah, that was 75,000 square feet that was done there, and the tenant that went into there was Jay Skinner. The other number, I don't even know where we're at. It's number 4, 13661 Giles Road, which is one that I'm very familiar with because I helped my good friend Jim Kunkel, Try Hard Logistics, move into that 64,000 square foot standalone building. We actually got that done before it ever even hit the market, so that was a good one to do. And shout out to the CBRE competitors on the other side for that transaction, making that smooth and seamless. The 5th lease was 7820 L Street. It was 33,000 square feet that was leased by the Flat Rock Group. So there you have it, the top 5 Q4 deals.
And we're seeing big deals and small deals go, and we're always looking for space. So if there's any landlords out there, call Trent Magid or John Meyer if you need your industrial building leased, sold, or whatever you want to do with it.
John, let's talk about some of the new construction projects that are going on in the industrial world. What's being built where these days?
There's, we could start over on the eastern side of town, start over there in Council Bluffs. So that Opus development that we were just talking about, that's really a good prime example. There's another, I think, about 800,000 square feet of speculative space that's going to be going in over there.
At the same spot?
No, a little bit down the road. But we're seeing a lot of development over there.
Well, all the way down to Mills County, there's been talk about giant logistics buildings in Mills County, and then New Street has an industrial park, a logistics park over by Nebraska Crossing and Gretna as well. But it's hard to find these land deals. We've seen big buildings go up Highway 50 and where else?
And on to that Gretna point, that NC Industrial Park that that filled up quick and it's pretty much built out, which is just on the other side of the west side of
Nebraska
Crossing there.
But you're also seeing we're still getting these large data centers. Google, Jeff, as you know, the greater Omaha area I think it's the largest concentration of Google data centers in the country, if not the world.
You are correct.
Well, you've got Tesla, is going in over in Council Bluffs.
They built a big maintenance facility for Tesla over by the casinos, but over by the Mid-America Center, kind of, that sat there for a long time, right next to those Opus buildings.
What about up by the airport?
So, down by the airport, well, you've got Green Slate is, I think they've been waiting over a year or so for the surcharge for the dirt that they had to bring in. Probably down there, there's probably some wet dirt down there, given the fact that the river used to run through there.
Well, there's a legislator, Justin Wayne, has been in the news, and other members of the unicameral and the Omaha contingency discussing a 90-acre airport industrial park to make jobs and build buildings. And they get, what is it, $90 million?
Yeah, about that.
And funding for that. So hopefully that'll increase some jobs there. But we don't see as much development by the airport as we do between Omaha and Lincoln. But we're also seeing industrial coming out, Blair High Road, Highway 133, kind of where that Google facility is.
Yeah, and I think you're seeing that, and that's a tough area out there for development, just due to the the topography.
All right. Well, we are running tight on time, as we are wont to do on this radio show. But John, thanks for joining us and helping us inform everyone or update everyone with the industrial real estate market in town.
Happy to be here, and just a shout out to Kevin Widener.
All right, there we go.
And congratulations on the new member of your family, Della.
Yep, Della Young Meyer was a week old on Thursday.
And congratulations, Hilke and John Meyer, for their second child. And congratulations to Vera, the older sister, who's 2 years old, and I'm sure she's listening and comprehending everything we say.
Yes, she is.
All right. Thanks, John. Appreciate you being here. That's John Meyer from NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.